Hey, it's Rachel from The Life Facilitator, and I am memory planning in my Heidi Swap insert. I have already printed my photos. I have put some notes on the planner insert, and so now I'm ready to get creative. So I do have a couple tutorials on how to print these photos on my Instagram. I will link them in the description. And I am using the Heidi Swap Stop the Blur kit from January, mostly the January kit. And then I will also use some of the add-ons I got with my January kit, including these large alphas, which you'll see in a little bit. And this kit matched perfectly with this week in the planner, so I was excited to use it. And because I had already printed the photos, it makes it a lot easier to just sort of get started with the planning. And here I'm using those large alphas that I mentioned earlier that I added on to my Stop the Blur kit. And I love the size of them. They are a little persnickety. They... As you can see, I kind of struggled getting them straight and ultimately never got them fully straight. And that's okay. It is what it is. And as I mentioned before, I do write notes on the planner, inside the planner, of some of the photos that I want to make sure I print. And so that's what you see me erasing. All of those notes have photos that go with them. And whether or not I put the photos on that day, not really important to me. What is important is that if it was an important photo, that I make sure to print it. And so now I'm just kind of getting the photos on the page. I try to do that first. Even if the photos move around a little bit, I do try to place the photos first. One, because it helps me sort of get a sense of the overall look of the page, but also because sometimes I don't finish a spread when I sit down to work on it. So at least in my mind, if I have the photos on the page, it's a little easier to walk away and come back later, rather than having photos scattered around the desk. This day, however, I did not have a a super thought out process. I just kind of went with what I was wanting, the days I wanted to work on. And so I kind of jumped to Saturday and work on this little slider, which I do love. And then here I'm using the stamp set from the January Stop the Blur kit. You'll notice that I put something hard underneath the stamp in order to attempt to get the stamp to stamp firm and or evenly. However, because this stamp is new and I didn't prime it very well, what I should have done was test it on a sheet of paper. But this is why I often stamp in black, because it's so much easier to correct a stamp mistake when the stamp ink is black. And so no big deal. These alphas are from the the January kit, and I love the size of them. They're just this really cute size, and they pair, the font of them pairs really nicely with the alphas that I used on Monday. And yeah, I'm a big fan. So I will spell out brunch, and then I will use some of the smaller stamps that came on that stamp from January on around where it says brunch. And this was such a fun addition to the January stamp set. I love the little phrases. They're really cute. And for this stamping, I'm using black archival ink. There it is. And it works really nicely both with these small delicate stamps and then also on the insert. And I've been very inspired by Heidi lately and to do more layered stamping. If you haven't watched her Instagrams of her doing her layered stamping, I highly encourage you. I highly suggest it because they're very good, and very fun. And yep, just finishing that stamp cluster. Now I'm going to work on Sunday, and I have several photos from Sunday, but they're photos that I would rather not just be kind of like, I mean, it's fine, we're just in the hot tub, but I had more I wanted to say, and also, why not make a flip when you can make a flip? So I'm going to make a little interactive element, and I'm using the Carefree papers to do that. So I first cut one of the cut aparts, and then now I'm trimming down one of the papers from the collection to the page. And I didn't plan this, but I definitely was like, this spread became a little bit like tone on tone, monochromatic, like greenish blue, which I'm cool with. I love these colors, so this worked out great. And so I'm going to adhere the cut apart on, and then I want to cover up where it says always take the long way home. It didn't really make sense with what I was trying to do. And so I'm going to embellish this little circle. So first I'm going to add some distress ink on, just kind of smear it on in this like pinky color. I think it's called Dusty Rose, maybe. No, it's something else. Anyway, we'll see in a second. And then I will, after I've added the pink, I'm going to stamp a little bit on top of it to create a little pattern. I don't love how this turned out, but that's okay. It's like one little element of the page, and it was fun to play around with the stamps. So, no big deal. And so now I'm done with that little piece. I'm going to wait a little bit before I actually adhere it onto the little flip, because I have in the past smeared all of the ink. So a little more embellishment onto that flip with some washi. This is also the Carefree collection washi. And now I will adhere the little circle on. And I'm using masking tape to create the flip part. And I've just gotten really excited about plain old clear Scotch masking tape for making flips and whatnot. So you don't need anything fancy to create some sort of interactive element. Like, literally, clear masking tape works great. And better, I would say better than washi tape, because it definitely is, the interactive element is more secure with the clear tape. And it's clear, so it's nice. I'll add a little tag so that I know that this is a interactive element. And this tab also came from the January kit, which up until I think the 15th of January will still be available. So I will leave a link below to this kit. This was a great kit. It had a lot of really useful functional elements. All right, now back to the first part of the week. I am stamping with one of the stamps that, again, I added on to my kit this month, and or might have been I got it during the stamp sale. Anyways, it's that big stamp that has the little grid patterns and then lots of little words on it. And then I pulled one of these cards from, I think that card is from last year's Stop the Blur kit, March's Stop the Blur kit from 2021. And I still use those little cards all the time. They're probably one of my favorite like little pieces from any kit I've gotten. And then I ripped the card, and so I'm just going to add something to the top of it to cover the rip. This is my DIY sticker album for my Heidi Swapp printables. I also have a video on how to make a DIY sticker album. I will also leave that below. And I have a little bit more on-camera decorating that I will do. However, my camera died, my phone died as I was filming, and so I will show you the end result of this spread. What am I? Oh, right. I forgot what I was doing next. Next, I'm going to fill in, or I'm going to stamp "Love This" for these two photos, and I will separate the journaling with just some lines. And here is a look at the final spread. I did some layered stamping on Friday. I also stamped on the inside of the flip, added some printables and stickers and all sorts of things to the rest of the page. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this process video, and like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.